Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here, got another Master Duel video for you. More Blue Eyes. Not even really changing the build much because I played these games very shortly after the ones from our last video. I've kind of honestly just been messing around with Blue Eyes and having fun with it. I've been enjoying this deck quite a bit more than I thought I would, and I maintain that this deck is definitely better than people are saying that it is. Yeah, because I still see people out here saying that this deck is not really worth going into without Primite. And, you know, the thing about Primite with this deck is that really it mostly just adds more starters, right? But as far as like what the Blue Eyes deck is doing, I think what it's doing in this current format is definitely good enough to stand up to other decks in the current meta. Now, I'm not here to tell you that Blue Eyes is like broken and the best deck and everyone's sleeping super hard on it, but I am here to tell you that with the amount of one-card starters that Blue Eyes has inherently, of which is 9, even more with the Pure Reese map, or 1-for-1 if you want to include it, on top of the fact that it puts out a similar number of disruptions to decks like White Forest, I think that Blue Eyes is, you know, fairly comparable and competent when it comes to competing with the meta. I would say that I think Blue Eyes is probably a tier 3 deck. I'm pretty confident in that, honestly. I think it might even be lower tier 2. Maybe that's, I think, pushing it. But, yeah, I feel comfortable calling Blue Eyes a tier 3 deck. And that might not sound like the most impressive, but when you think about the current meta that we're in, that is actually quite the feat to be able to keep up with the meta and not be playing like Fiendsmith and Azamina as well, right? So, if you missed my last Blue Eyes video, that video actually shows all going second games. This one will have, I think, a mix of going first and going second games. But the idea here is that our end board is going to consist of 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon plus an Effect Veiler that we searched. That does not sound like a lot. However, the thing about Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon is that it has a soft once per turn negation of an effect of a card that activates in the graveyard. It's a little specific, however, in this meta, there are a ton of effects that you can hit with this. Think Hallowed Azamina graveyard effect, think any amount of Fiendsmith graveyard effects, including Fabled Lurie. Even against non-Fiendsmith decks, think Brandon and how many graveyard effects that activates. Tearlaments, how many graveyard effects that activates. There are so many ways to utilize this first effect. It looks, or the second effect, really. Also, the first effect, keeping your opponent from special summoning 2 or more monsters at the same time. Just catching, Pendulum always catching strays in pretty much any meta. So, the Spirit Dragon is not a bad inboard piece in and of itself. However, in addition to that, being able to summon a Light Dragon Synchro monster means that with your 2 Spirit Dragons, you can not only summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, which has an Omni negate, but also Crimson Dragon to get Siphier, which has a monster negate, and destroys any card on the field, and will also keep your Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon from being destroyed during the end phase. So that is really, really powerful. And again, that's when you lay out the total number of disruptions, I think it's like 5 or 6. That's, again, that's in the neighborhood of like what White Forest is out here doing. So if you think White Forest is a good deck, then you should also be considering Blue Eyes to be a good deck. I think they're, now again, I think White Forest is stronger, but I think just again, in terms of the end board, they are decently comparable. Our starters, as mentioned, we have 9 of them in archetype, are Sage with Eyes of Blue, Maiden of White, and Wishes for Eyes of Blue. So 9 1-card, well, technically 1.5, the discard for Wishes. 9 1.5 card starters is not bad at all. And again, between Pure Reese map, or if you want to, even also the 1-for-1, you have the option to go up to 13 1-card starters if you want to. I've only got the 2 Pure Reese map because that's kind of all I think you need, although I can see myself going down to 2 Neo Kaiser Seahorse and maybe putting in a 3rd map, right? I still really like playing the one of Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. It's really good to dump off of Neo Kaiser Seahorse, but it's not even bad to open either. This also summons itself whenever any card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect. Doesn't have to be yours. You can actually summon this when you destroy your opponent's card, making it exceptionally powerful. Plus, we've all had that one game against Blue Eyes where we just cannot seem to out the Jet and it just wrecks us. Yeah, Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, again, don't sleep on it. It's a very, very good card. And one of the other great things about this deck is that it has a ton of room for hand traps. I actually did mean to work on the list a little bit between videos on it. I just got so excited I wanted to play it again. As mentioned last time, and I'm just going to do this now before I forget, I think moving forward I would cut Relinquished Anima from the extra deck and play Bestial Dissipator instead. Just because there are a decent number of situations where you get Dragon Locked but still want to Synchro for 10. So just having the option to be able to do so I think is worth it. I think another change I'll make moving forward is, as mentioned, I think I will end up cutting one of these Neo Kaiser Seahorse. Neo Kaiser Seahorse is an okay extender, but I don't think it's so good that it's worth warranting playing a full playset. Again, I could play a third period Reese-Map to bring myself up to 12 one-card starters, or I could just jam another hand trap. I'll have to do some ratio math off screen in order to figure out exactly what I want to replace the third Neo Kaiser Seahorse with. But otherwise, I think this list is really solid, and we're going to show you 3 more games where Blue Eyes is going to... you know, if you're sleeping on this deck, it'll surprise you just how competent and efficient this deck plays. But that's enough of me babbling about the list. Why don't we break it down card by card, and then we'll take a look at these games. We're on, of course, 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon, 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue, 3 Maiden of White, 2 Maxi, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 3 Mulch Army Fuelos, 3 Neo Kaiser Seahorse, 1 Bestial Magnum Hut, 1 Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, 1 Nibiru, the Primal Being, 2 Piri Reese-Map, 3 Wishes for Eyes of Blue, 1 Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons, 1 Mausoleum of White, 2 Called by the Grave, 1 Cross-Eyed Designator, 3 Infinite Permanents, 1 Majesty of the White Dragons, and finally 1 True Light. It's going to be our main deck. For the extra, we're on 1 Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, 1 Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, 1 Baron de Fleur. We were on 1 Relinquished Anima, but I prefer 1 Bestial Dissipator, 1 Stardust Saphir Divine Dragon, 1 Cosmic Blazar Dragon, 1 Crimson Dragon, 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, 1 Superstar Slayer Typhoon Sky Crisis, 2 Blue Eyes Spirit with Eyes of Blue, 1 Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, and finally 1 SP Little Knight. That's going to do it for our list. Let's look at this gameplay. Alright, for our first duel, we're going to be up against Runick Stun. Been seeing a pretty large influx of stun decks in the current meta. I don't really mind it though. I don't mind playing against stun. Like, if you go first, like we did here, your odds of winning just skyrocket. And even when you have to go second, there's a lot of times where stun is super beatable. It's annoying for sure, but it's fine. Whatever, who cares? Anyway, Wishes for Eyes of Blue, going to pitch one of our dead Fuelos here to add Sage and Roar. Sage is going to add a Maiden of White. Maiden of White F gets to place True Light from our hand, unfortunately, but because we led with Spirit of Eyes of Blue, Wishes for Eyes of Blue, I can use True Light to set the Majesty for the follow-up play. Now I'm going to use Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons for our Blue Eyes. And we can activate Maiden of White to bring itself back. Now we're going to link off the Sage with Eyes of Blue to go for the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. This will, of course, let us search up our Mausoleum of White. Activating Mausoleum of White, we can then use the Wishes Graveyard effect in order to equip Blue Eyes with the Neo Ultimate Blue Eyes, and then tribute it for Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. That's why we play those fusions in our deck. Now that Blue Eyes is in our graveyard, we can tribute Spirit to bring it back. Mausoleum F, target Maiden. Chain Maiden is going to allow us to use Maiden effect in order to summon out the Sage. And then now we can use Mausoleum F to dump the other Blue Eyes. And then from here, we simply synchro into our 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Now, because of the way that we opened here, we didn't get the Veiler search. A lot of the time, you'll have an extra search for a level 1 light spellcaster tuner, and you can use that to search Effect Veiler, but otherwise, this is a pretty typical turn 1 in board, right? And actually, we didn't get the Veiler search, but because we opened the way we did, we can set Majesty of the White Dragons, which will let us pop 2 of our opponent's cards. Debatably, an even better piece of disruption than the Effect Veiler. So 2 Spirit Dragons plus another form of disruption is what you can expect off of a turn 1 combo line, as you see here. Alright, going into our opponent's turn, looks like they're going to lead with 1 Day of Peace, which I gotta tell you, this might be my least favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card in the world. If anybody ever activates 1 Day of Peace, they are always up to no good. You can effect activating here. We're going to, of course, use the Imperm on that. I really like seeing Runick here, actually, with this setup, because with the Majesty, I can pop the field spell, and then we're good. So they're going to Super Poly, and they actually fused into Mud Dragon. I'm really glad they didn't go into... Oh, but Garuru's different names, so they couldn't have fused both of my Blue-Eyed Spirit Dragons either way. I see. Makes sense. But by using Super Poly, they can dodge the Impermanent Search Fountain anyway. So here, when they activate Fountain, I'm going to Tribute the Spirit Dragon. They're going to go Destruction on True Light. I'll chain True Light F to set the wishes for a follow-up play. Destruction will pop it. And then Spirit Dragon will resolve, summoning the ultimate Spirit Dragon. Fountain resolves, True Light activates, which just popped my ultimate Spirit Dragon, but will let me get my regular Spirit Dragon back. Now they're going to go Runick Slumber. I'm definitely going to want to chain the Majesty of the White Dragons. This is because Majesty of the White Dragons, again, pops 2 cards in the field, and Slumber is about to prevent this Mud Dragon from being destroyed by card effects, on top of also, of course, triggering the Fountain. So now we can go Majesty, pop their 2 cards, so their field is now gone, and then now Ultimate Spirit Dragon brings back regular Spirit Dragon. And as you can see, we left our opponent with literally nothing, while still having one of our Spirit Dragons, an extra Sage that we searched up, as well as the set wishes for follow-up plays. So, yeah, I mean, that is a pretty good example of how the 2 Spirit Dragon plus one other thing might not look like a lot, but it is enough to get you there for sure. We do have some more games to check out. Let's go into the next one. Alright, so our next game is going to be up against Tenpai. Now, I did win this coin flip, meaning that I wasn't necessarily privy to the fact that my opponent was on Tenpai, or going second deck in general. But this hand's looking pretty good. Opening Mausoleum of White isn't ideal, but it's not a big deal either. It basically just means we don't have to go into Spirit, right? Now here they're going to go Fuelos, so I'm going to chain Ash Blossom. And they're chaining another Fuelos. Now, while not quite shotgunned, I think this is still not optimal use of Fuelos. Especially considering as I go to normal summon Sage, they're going to fire off Maxi as well. Now, in the last, actually it was in the last Blue Eyes video, I talked about effective use of Maxi and Fuelos. And this is so unbelievably far from it. If you're gonna shotgun them, don't do it during main phase 1, because now I can just triple attack you. But, and this is gonna be a perfect illustration of what I always talk about with this. The main reason you don't want to shotgun these is that you give your opponent information and you let them play around your stuff. This is the perfect hand to demonstrate how I'm going to punish my opponent so hard for discarding these 3 at the weirdest time, and I'm going to give them 0 draws while still setting up disruption here. Because Sage doesn't even summon anything, it's just adding here. I can add Maiden of White, activate Maiden of White, pitch itself to place True Light face up, True Light F to set the Majesty. Now I can activate Mausoleum, Mausoleum F activate in order to mill my Blue Eyes, and then I pass. Now look at what I have set up here. I have the Majesty to pop a card, I have Maxi and Ash Blossom going into my opponent's 3-card hand. They're only on 3 cards. Again, if the last Blue Eyes video was a good showcasing of why it's good to use Maxi and Fuelos when your opponent's committed to plays, this is the perfect example of why you do not do it before they've committed to plays. I still see people in the comments saying, it doesn't really matter. Yes, it does. I promise you it does. It is the difference between, like, regular play and high-level competitive play. This kind of thing 100% matters. We're going to go normal summon Pydra. Here we can just Ash Blossom the Pydra. I would be a little scared of follow up with Song and Kaiman if they had more cards in hand. Plus we already have the ability to pop a card if they go summon Chandra or something anyway. Majesty F going to pop their Pydra, as that's all they have. And they have to pass right back over to us. End phase, I'll use True Light, set wishes for follow-up plays. You see how little they had to do? Again, I cannot stress enough how much this 100% matters. Anyway, now I can go wishes, pitch my extra wishes for the Roar, as well as an extra effect Veiler. Maiden's already in the graveyard, so there's no need to search that or Sage here. Maiden can activate from the graveyard here to summon itself, wishes graveyard F. Going to equip my Blue Eyes Ultimate with Neo, or Blue Eyes with... Blue Eyes White Dragon with Neo Ultimate Blue Eyes White Dragon. And as I go to summon the Tyrant, they're actually going to activate Magnemite here, and then immediately surrender. Because here's the thing, right? Like, I had 2 Blue Eyes in the graveyard, so it didn't even matter that they had Magnemite. I can still summon the other one out anyway. And I think realizing that is what kind of tipped my opponent over the edge, being like, all right, I scoop. So, again, I cannot stress enough how much using Maxine Fulos at optimal moments really does matter. But anyway, we have one last duel to check out. Let's finish off with that one. Our final opponent is actually going to be on Blue Eyes as well. It's a mirror match. My opponent is playing the Magia build. There is a variant where you can go for Dragon Master Magia as well. I think it's a little win more, but it's not horrible by any means. We're taking the first turn here. Got the wishes, so that is enough to start our plays here. Going to pitch the Neo Kaiser Seahorse. We need the Mausoleum for our combo line, and of course I want to keep these hand traps. You know, actually though, I could have pitched Effect Veiler because I'm going to search another one anyway. Well, normally you would, but here my Sage is going to get Veilered. Well, no, here you would search for Maiden, right? And that actually does hurt to not have the Maiden here. Now I can still go for Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. And normally I would... I don't know if I'd even go for Spirit here now that I'm thinking about it. You probably should though, right? Spirit with Eyes of Blue, I mean. If I didn't have Mausoleum of White in hand. Although, if that, then I wouldn't be able to Synchro Summon, right? Yeah, so I think this actually worked out. I didn't even activate Mausoleum here, that's right. Magnum Hut on the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate is definitely annoying. I'm going to use the Ash Blossom here on the Magnum Hut search. I actually did this because I thought maybe my opponent was on Tenpai, possibly. I mean, I know they have the mate in the sleeves, but cosmetics don't mean anything. Don't ever assume that your opponent's on a certain deck because of cosmetics. I remember back in Tier Limit days when everyone would rock the Waterboard and, you know, Kaleidoheart sleeves no matter what deck they were playing. Now, as they Veilered my Sage, I'm going to Veiler theirs. I think if you've got Veiler or Imperm, using it on Sage is the way to go. And before they can go into anything else here, I want to go into my Ultimate Spirit Dragon to get my Omni Negate established. Now here they're going to Synchro Summon for their Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. Set one and then pass back over to me. End phase, we're going to use the Spirit Dragon F. They get to summon their Jet Dragon from hand. Although if they had used their Spirit Dragon's effect, I think I wouldn't have gotten my Spirit Dragon back here. So I think they probably should have just done that instead of Jet. Also, wait, is Jet Dragon an if or a when? It's an if. So, okay, so... Because Spirit Dragon is a when, and of course the difference between when and if is that when effects need to be responded directly to whatever condition is triggering them. If effects can go at any point on the chain link afterward. So they could have gone... So because they did Jet Dragon first, they couldn't do Spirit Dragon. But I think if they had done Spirit Dragon first, they should have also been able to summon Jet Dragon. I'm pretty sure that would have worked. Alright, they're going to go for their Spirit Dragon during my draw phase to summon out their Royal, very nice, Ultimate Spirit Dragon as early as possible. And I'm just going to concede here. The top deck Veiler is unfortunately not enough to get me there. Like, I'm thinking, okay, even if I go normal summon Veiler Synchro into Baron, right? I can't battle over the Ultimate Spirit Dragon. I can't even pop any of the cards because of Jet Dragon. All I'd be able to do is battle over Baron, and then... that'd be it anyway. If I had Dissipator, then maybe things would have been different. Probably not, though. Like, well, okay, I would have been able to battle over Jet Dragon. I don't remember. Wait, Magnum Hut banished... What did Magnum Hut banish? Magnum Hut banished... Was it Maiden? No. Let me look at the log here. Dissipator would have been able to summon whatever Magnum Hut banished, which was... Oh, no, it was Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate. Never mind. So, that's kind of a moot point. Anyway. Either way, that is going to do it for this video. Thanks for checking out these games with me. Super appreciate having you around, as always. But that'll do it for now. So why don't we just move on to our outro. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Just want to give you a huge thanks for watching all the way to the very end of the video. Believe it or not, that is actually one of the best ways that you can support the channel, is by watching the videos in their entirety. But there are many ways in which you can support the channel if you are so interested. The names that you're seeing on screen here, I gotta give an extra special thanks to, because these are people who have chosen to either become a member on YouTube, which if you're interested you can do as well via the join button next to the subscribe button down there, or have signed up over on Patreon and become members there. Link to that is going to be in the description below. Without the support that is being offered by, again, all the people that you're seeing on screen right here, I would not be able to take the time to dedicate to uploading daily YouTube videos. So thank you so very much. But there are also other ways you can support as well. Again, link to the description below. If you like my deck tracker that you'll see in a lot of my videos, the Untapped Companion, you can download that for free, and if you use my affiliate link down there, then that also goes a long way towards supporting the channel. That's again free. So is subscribing here on YouTube. That's also free and a huge way to support. You can also check out Twitch, once again linked in the description below. Following and subscribing over there will not only support as well, but also give you notifications of when I go live if you want to catch some of the live streams. But really, no matter how you choose to support, it all adds up and it all definitely means the world. So thank you, each and every one of you. For now, this is Hexlex. I'm going to be signing out, but more than that, I'm hoping that you have a fantastic day.